Hi everyone, this is Matthew again, and today we are going to be installing a Windows operating system on this laptop. It's for a customer, and he wants to upgrade the Windows from Windows 7 to Windows 10, but we're going to be doing a clean installation on the hard drive. So we have all what we need ready right here. We have our Windows installation software. You can see we have so many windows there. We have 8.1, 10, 11, 7 as well. So but we're going to be installing Windows 10 on this laptop. Actually, we are not going to be using the CD. We are not going to be using the CD because I normally use USB to install all these Windows. I already have the ISO version of this Windows, all the Windows on my USB drive. The reason why it's preferable to use a USB because it's faster. Like most of the laptops nowadays doesn't even come with a DVD-ROM. You need to buy an external ROM, and even the ones that comes with a DVD-ROM, by the time you use it for a while, the lens becomes weak, so it's somehow difficult to read from the disk. So but I'm going to show you a scenario if you want to use the DVD-ROM to load the Windows, and also the USB is almost the same thing, just that the USB is faster than the DVD-ROM. So we're going to turn on this laptop now, and first thing you want to know is to know how to enter your laptop setup, and each of the laptops have different ways to enter their setup. Some you might have to press the F10 button, some you might have to press the F2 button, some you might need to press the escape button, and some you might need to press the F1 button. Depends on the laptop brand you are using. So you can use Google to check how to enter setup on your laptop. So here I powered on the laptop. Some of the keys are not working, so we are using the external keyboard. So I'm going to press F2 to enter the setup. It's Toshiba. So I'm on the setup mode now. So one thing you want to do is to go to the boot and set the priority, because I'm going to, like I said earlier, I'm going to give you a scenario. If I want to use the CD as a DVD to install my Windows, I will set my priority to boot from the DVD first, which is on the number 1 right there. You can see other boot options: drive, USB, LAN, freeze disk, floppy disk, and all that. So if I want to boot from the DVD, I will set the DVD as the option 1. Then I will have to install my installation CD, insert it in the DVD ROM drive right here. So once I insert it, then I press F10 to save this option. Then once it reboots, it's going to try to load from the DVD. So that's the difference. But we're going to be using the USB to load this Windows. So I'm going to remove this. I don't really need this. I'm going to remove it. So I'm going to, what's the thing about this USB version is they are ISO. So it's a bit different from the DVD, the CD installation version. They are ISO because it contains almost all the files needed. The DVD version as well contains almost all the files, but the speed in reading is faster from the USB. And if you want to set up an installation, a Windows installation ISO on USB, you can use all the software available on the internet. Like this one was programmed using a Rufus software. So what I actually did is to purchase the ISO, that's the Windows ISO version, and I use the Rufus to set to make a bootable Windows installation as a USB bootable Windows installation, and it is MBR BIOS CSN legacy support. So I didn't use the UEFI because some of the older versions of the laptops are incompatible with the UEFI. Is the newer versions that are compatible with it. So if you set a bootable USB Windows version using the UEFI, you might need to go to your setup and configure your laptop to boot either from the legacy or the UEFI, else it will not boot from the USB. So right now this laptop supports legacy CSM mode. So the version of this bootable Windows I have here is the MBR, so it's going to boot from this USB. So most of the newer laptops support the UEFI. So if you are making a bootable ISO version of your Windows, make sure you use the UEFI setup on the Rufus application. There are other applications you can use as well to make a bootable USB Windows file. So I'm going to insert this. I'm going to insert it in the USB port right here. So I'm on the setup now. Since we are not using the DVD to install our Windows, so I'm going to be setting, go to this place, then go to my boot option, then choose you can see right here, I'm going to choose the USB, set it as a number 1. So set as number 1 right now. So I'm going to press F10 to save. So I'm going to press yes. So it's going to reboot now. It's going to prompt me to press any key to boot from the USB, since I've set the USB as a first priority. So you can see it has prompted me to press any key. I've pressed any key, so it has loaded the Windows setup. So we're going to proceed from here. Okay, still loading. You can see it's loading from my USB right here. So it depends also on the speed of your laptop. If your laptop is all this new generation Core i7, Core i5, 8 gig RAM, SSD hard drive and all that, it will have passed all these stages because it's an old laptop. It's just a Core 2, so it will be a bit slow. It's okay. We've got into the setup page now. I'm going to use my keyboard to go to next. Okay, then install now. Just go to install now. You can see the option right there, install now. Okay, okay, so it has gotten to where we have to enter our key. So I'm going to skip this because of the Windows version I'm using. I have an activator already, so I'm going to skip this. So once it's installed, I'm going to activate the Windows later. Okay, so we're going to mark this, then we click on next. So here this option is where you need to decide either if you want to partition your hard drive. Maybe you have a 500 gig hard drive and you like to split it into 2 or 3 places, maybe 300 for the Windows setup, then maybe the remaining 200 for other files you may want to back up in case if your Windows crashed. If you partition your hard drive and you have maybe 200 gig as a partition and you copy your files there, if your Windows crashed, your files remains on the other partition. So if you format your Windows again on the Windows partition, you will still retain those old files. So let me just show you how this works. So I'm going to click on custom right here. So this hard drive is just a little just small space, I think about 60 gig or something. So I'm going to delete all these partitions first. I'm going to delete them. You can see it has 2 partitions. It has 2 partitions already, so I'm going to delete them so that we can create a partition and show you how this really works. I'm going to delete the other partition as well. So I've deleted both partitions. So I want to create a partition, just one. So let's assume I want the Windows partition to be let's say 35 gig. Okay, that's 35 gig. I pressed apply, then okay. Okay, so we've created this 35 gig. So don't forget that the Windows will also retain some in case you are running out of space. So that's why you are seeing this 33.7. So the remaining part allocation here is 21 point something. So I'm going to create another partition for that, so that we'll have two partitions. Okay, so I've done that. So I'm going to format this second partition so that you'll be able to see it once you are downloading your system. You need to format it. It's very, very important. You can also still format it after loading your system by going to the computer management to format that. So this one as well, this is where I'm going to be putting the Windows. I'm going to format it as well. Then here, make sure the mouse is here, then you click on next. Okay, then it will start copying files. It might take some minutes, depends on how fast the computer is. So it will start counting from 1 to 100%. Once that's done, we're almost done with the installation, but it might take some time here, so we have to wait. Okay, that's started counting already. That's 1%. That's 5%. You can see it's really loading very fast. If I'm using the DVD, it might be slow because it's going to be trying to read from the DVD, and if the length of your DVD ROM is weak, it should be very, very slow. So that's why it's always good to use the USB, but most people don't even have the USB, the ISO version, so most people use the DVD to load. So make sure you have a very high speed DVD ROM if you're using the DVD to install Windows. So I'm going to skip this part a bit so that I can run to avoid increasing the length of the video. So once it's close to like 100, we are going to continue. Okay, so we are back now. So you can see it's 90%, 93%. It's still going. We're almost done. Okay, 100%. Okay, so now it has shown it has copied all the files, so it's now installing features and updates. So let's just wait. So like I stated earlier, all these stages depends on how fast your computer is. If it's a fast computer, it will have passed all these stages. In fact, it will even take up to 5 or 6 minutes to load the whole Windows and the whole processor. Okay, so we're almost done right here. So after this stage, now it's going to prompt us to either reboot or it reboots by itself. You can see it has shown that, so you can either click on restart now, or it's going to restart after some seconds there. So once it restarts, it's going to, we've already set it to boot from that USB, so it's going to attempt to boot again from the USB and prompt us to press enter. But in this case, we will not press enter, so we'll just leave it and let it run. So either you are using a DVD or USB, once it prompts you to press any key to boot, you can see it has shown that, so we're not going to press any key at this point again. So it's going to load the Windows, then continue the setup process. So getting device ready. So it's going to restart now. So once again, you won't press any key there. Okay, so we are back to where the product key section is, because this version of the Windows I'm using, so it's going to prompt you to enter a key, but I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to click on do this later, because I'm going to activate later using a software. So here I'm going to click on use express settings right there. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, I've skipped the product key section, so it's going to take us right here where you have to enter your computer name. So here I'm just going to enter user. You can enter your own name, so user. So you can enter your own name, then you enter your password, but here I'm going to skip this. I don't want to set a password for now. So you can enter a password if you want to, so you click on next. Okay, so we are almost done setting up. Okay, so we are done, guys. We've installed the clean Windows installation on the laptop. As you can see, it has taken us to the desktop page right there. So there are a few things you still have to do after installing a clean Windows installation on your computer, because all these computers have so many hardware components, and it's not all the hardware components that will work initially once you install a clean Windows operating system on your computer, or either the laptop or the PC. So all these hardware components like the graphics display units, the wireless, the Bluetooth, so many other components, the USB ports and all that, some of them may not work. Some of them already have the pre-installed drivers on the Windows installation setup, and for those that doesn't have, you might need to drive them. So I'm going to release a video as well on that, but let me quickly briefly show you what I'm really talking about. So I'm going to go to the control panel, then you go to the device, then you check some of our devices that still requires driver for them to work. You go to control panel right there, then you go to, let me go to small, there you go to system, then you go to the device manager. Okay, this is where you see all our hardware components right here. So you can see all this is the computer, this is the display unit. So this is the basic driver. So I might still need to update this to a more high graphic driver for me to be able to see all the words and fonts clearly and all that. So this is just a basic driver. So this is what I'm talking about. Then there are other things as well. There are some things that will be marked maybe in red or yellow. It means if you see anything that is marked in yellow or something, it means the device driver has not been installed. So all you have to do is to install them. You can right click on anyone you want to install, you right click on it, then you click on update driver software. So if your internet is connected, it will try to search for driver on the internet. So I'm going to release a video on all this as time goes on. Like the mouse as well may not work, depends on your laptop. The mouse, it may require a driver to drive the mouse and all that. That's it, guys. So that's how to install a clean Windows operating system. Then you can book a one-on-one section by commenting on the video, maybe on Zoom and all that. If you want to do all this and you see maybe you are skeptical, or you want to do it at home and you don't know how to go about it, just book a one-on-one section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channels for more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.